Hey boys and girls, welcome back to Fire Emblem Shadow Dragon. And in the last episode we actually took on Chapter 18, also known as the Sable Order, also known as Grust Powerful Paladin Knights, or at least they said so. We didn't have too much of a problem with them. But in the last episode we actually learned that we're gonna be fighting off with a Guardian, and who just might this Guardian be? It's actually Tiki, of all things, and she's actually gonna be the boss of this chapter. Although, you don't have to fight her, because of the fact that you can recruit her. If you have Bantu on your team, you're actually able to talk to Tiki and recruit her to your party, which is what we're going to be doing today. We also finished up our White Wings as well in the last episode by getting Est. And with that, let's get into Chapter 19, also known as the Manakete Princess. Also known as the dungeon where we should be getting the Light Sphere and the Star Sphere, which we need in order to get the component, which are the components for Starlight, which apparently is going to be the tome that can take down Garnef, and that will let us get the Falchion. So with that, let's do this.
Tiki, princess of long-departed Naga clan, incinerate all those who would disgrace the fane of Raman. Don't forget that I saved you from Medius after Bantu abandoned you.
And with that, that is our small hint that Bantu would be the one to actually recruit Tiki in this episode. Or chapter, I mean. But with that, let's actually do this. Based on what I can tell, this doesn't look like it's going to be too hard of a chapter. Just due to how small the chapter is, it only allows 12 units. I actually don't even have the animations on. Oops, I should probably fix that one. Thankfully, that's actually easy to do. All you do is go to options and then go to animation and just turn it right on. And there we go. Now we have them back on. Also, I did notice that there was these hunters in the side areas. It looks like they're going to be a lot easier to deal with than the snipers, thankfully, so these guys are going to be pretty easy, except for maybe this guy, since he is a sniper, so snipers usually do some decent damage to us. And he looks like, yeah, he's got some skill and some strength, but he has less strength than the hunters, so actually they might be more dangerous than the other people. I'm actually not sure. Usually the snipers randomly one-shot us, because they get the random crits every now and again. But with that, I guess we just run Marth as far as we can, because we need to keep making our way forward. Okay, so far so good. It looks like we shouldn't have too much of a problem with this map due to the fact that, as I said, it's going to be a smaller map. Mostly due to, this is mostly just to get some free items, basically, due to the fact that, as you can see, there's a bunch of treasure chests here. Although one was open, and I don't know why. I have a theory that maybe this is where Falchion was laying, and this is where Garnef actually stole Falchion from. If that is the case, that would make sense due to the fact that usually we don't have any pre-open chest on a map. So I'm gonna guess that's probably what happened there. But other than that, I do have two things I need to do in this episode as well. I need to give out some items to both Marth and Minerva. One of them is going to be the secret book that we got from one of the previous chapters, and also a speed ring that we also got from a previous chapter. So Marth's going to be getting the secret book to increase his skill. Since he is capped at the moment for levels, he can't actually get any more. So it's better off that he gets a little bit more to his skill cap so he can randomly crit a little bit more. And also, I'm going to give the speed ring to Minerva since her speed is a little bit lower than I would like it to be. So this should kind of even it out. So first off, speed ring will be going to you. Okay, so far so good. I want to make sure that we don't mess this up because I can easily accidentally give it to the wrong person. And apparently Marth is actually capped out for items, so we're going to hold on to that secret book then. Okay, so what is he actually holding that's forcing him to... Oh, a door key. Now that would make sense. I should have used... Actually, he wasn't even in range to open any of those, so honestly, it's not the worst case scenario. Okay, I do want to get rid of one of these hunters if all possible. I don't know how easy it's going to be due to the fact that they are kind of behind doors. I don't want to waste door keys getting rid of them, so I'm going to try and attack them from over the wall. Hopefully that's going to be easy though, due to the fact that, you know, sometimes we do miss, and I don't know how much damage they do. Okay, only 9. So 9 damage, and we randomly crit him, so we ended up getting rid of him anyways. Perfect. Thank you, Merrick. Always doing what I need you to do, bud. Okay, Lena, you just make your way forward. I don't know if there's going to be reinforcements on this map. I'd highly doubt it, due to the fact that it is a map that is... If you want to get the falchion, it is required. And I don't think they would completely, like, kind of scare you off the map, is what I'm trying to say. So I feel like this is probably all the forces that are on this map. Unless there's some, like, hidden ones. I guess there could be, like, a small bit of reinforcements on the map. I'd highly bet on that, but I'm gonna say that it's not gonna be too bad, like, some of the maps, what was it? Port Warren, and I believe it was chapter I think it was 16 is also the other one. I forgot the actual name for 16 though, since it wasn't too memorable based on what I remembered. It was basically, let's see here. It basically kind of reminded me of Port Warren, actually. A lot of, like, open areas and areas where you can... Oh, that's what it was. It was Star and Savior. That's the map. Okay, now I remember it. Okay, the one where we actually saved Altea from the forces of Dolar and Grust. Now that I remember, it was 126 units on that map, and based on what I read for the reinforcement limit. And honestly, thankfully we had Bantu for that map, so it blocked off all of them, so they couldn't even run to us even if they wanted to. They blocked off the secret shop, so we didn't actually get to go check it out. So I still don't know exactly how they work in this game, but it's honestly, it could be worse. We could run into a much worse problem where we, what do you call it? It could have been like items we actually wanted. It was small things that we really didn't need. And also, since we are kind of limited on who can actually open chests, we're actually going to save the chest opening for I'm going to do it off camera, and then I'm going to gather all the items and then tell you what was in each and every one. But we're going to skip on that for now. We do have all the keys that we do need for this chapter, though, so honestly, it's not the worst case scenario. We're definitely able to get everything, so as long as we make sure that the thief's on the top half of the map, it looks like there is 3 of them. But I don't think they're going to be able to run straight to the items faster than I can get to them, due to the fact that we do have multiple units that can basically run these guys down. So we don't have to worry too much. I want to make sure that we do get some experience here, so I want Navarre to get rid of this guy, so you can get this guy, buddy. Other than that, I think maybe Ogma for the other one. I kind of want to level up Navarre and Ogma, since I do like using them quite a bit. They're not like super bulky, but they are pretty fun to use. I like using swordsmen, and usually they're the more fun class, because Cavaliers are cool and all, but honestly I like the foot soldiers more than a lot of the common classes in these games, because Cavaliers are cool, they can run across the map, but honestly that kind of defeats the purpose of some of the challenge of the game, because I feel like if you used more foot soldiers, you have less movement to work with, so the enemies have more of a chance to kind of fight you back than they do when you have a whole army of Cavalier units basically able to run down anybody on the map. So if that's... I know some people like it that way, but I just feel like it's a little too many units to deal with, because I would like to use a lot more swordsmen for... Actually, there's 2 reasons. One, I like their the way they look, and I also like the animations the swordsmen actually have, because some of them do some pretty neat stuff in some of the games. Like, I believe it was Lynn. Yeah, Lynn was able to kind of like go out of the fog of war when she did her crit, I believe it was. It was either her or it was... trying to remember his name. What was your name, buddy? I don't actually remember on the top of my head. If I were to remember it right here and then, I would definitely say who it was. All I remember is they're tied to Nino, and they are technically a ninja in a way, I guess you could say, but they're more of an assassin, because that's what they're part of an assassin clan in that game. And I don't know why I can't remember him, because I remember him being a pretty cool character. But it's due to the fact that I haven't played that game in so long, and it's also one of the units that Jafar, there we go, Jafar, there we go. It was, the reason why I couldn't remember it specifically is because a lot of the characters I remember more are due to the fact that I actually have them in Heroes, and I'm able to use them, like, constantly. Jafar is one of those units that are free in that game, but due to the fact that, Jafar is a, technically he's a Tempest Trial unit, so although he's very easy to get, I don't use him too often because of the fact that you have to build him up by getting as many merges as possible to make him as good as possible, because he is a armored, green dagger unit, I believe? Although he would be very fun to use in that game, I don't have everything he needs in order to be a possible unit for my team, because the units I use already are pretty cool in that game. I really like using the ability of Leaf, where you can bring an extra unit to the map, so basically instead of 4 units you can bring 5 because of pair-up, which is always fun. And I always like using my Levitain due to the fact that she has the true damage ability through her sword. Although I'm completely free to play on that game, I've actually had some really good luck on getting pulls for my units. I got the Brave Dimitri from the Brave banner for the Choose Your Legends 4, which is pretty fun to use. I definitely like using him with Levitain, because the things that Levitain can't tank, I can use Dimitri to tank it instead, because I use Levitain with distant counter and also a Vantage, because of the fact that the true damage can proc and destroy pretty much any unit that you're worrying about, particularly, making it a very nice and easy time for enemy time, or enemy turn phases. So you can basically completely turn the tide of battle just due to the fact that as long as you're paying attention to what you're doing and where you're placing your units, you can technically destroy any unit on the field just due to the fact that Levitain has the extra power that she has. Just all she needs is a couple buffs, and I use Titania for that to give her basically, let's see here, you can max out at 6, but technically you can max out at 7, but due to the fact that she only has the +6 for the attack, defense, and resistance, I only get the technically +18, but it could be much higher as long as you can get a unit that can give the final bit of stats, which is for the speed. So if you were able to get all of it, you can do some pretty hefty damage, as well as basically doing 24 true damage per attack, which is always nice to see. I definitely do recommend, if you can ever get a Levitain, to throw a distant counter on her, since it is a little bit easier to get it now due to the fact that they make it pretty easy to get due to the fact that there is the, what do you call it, the special combat manuals that you can get, that you could spawn special units, although they become combat unit manuals and you actually don't actually get the units. You do get the access to their spells and everything, so it's actually pretty cool to use that every now and again, because you can get some really good spells out of that. I was able to get a couple units with Wrathful Staff because of that, and I'm definitely happy about that due to the fact that it's so hard to get Wrathful Staff on some units, due to the fact that it is a 5-star only ability, which is unfortunate, but what am I gonna do? Just try and pull as much as I can, because I would like to stay as free to play as possible. And there's a Geosphere. That's one of the spheres that they were saying about. So there's 3 of them. I don't know what the Geo one is for. It only has 3 uses. I don't want to randomly use it just in case if it is good, so I'm gonna save it for later. I'm gonna say it's probably good due to the fact that it is one of these sphere items, and apparently some of the sphere items can actually do some pretty nifty things, like make it so your items don't break as well when you have it on you. I don't know if it works like that in this game, and how are you actually breaking through Bantu's armor? I'm actually surprised about that one. What the heck? Oh, wait, did Bantu actually get something? He actually got a stat. Look at that. I'm actually surprised. Good job, Bantu. Good job on you, buddy. Okay, Other than that, I don't want Minerva to attack this turn. I actually want her to move a little bit, actually not there because of the fact that the mage probably can attack me there. I'm going to move her to a spot where the sniper can attack me and the mage can attack me. And I'm actually going to use her speed ring. This should raise her by 6. I thought it was 7, oops. Well, 6 is still good. I'll definitely take 6 speed because she was at a pretty low amount of speed before, so now she has a lot more to work with. So 15 allows her to double a lot more often, and she's not going to get doubled as often, so that's definitely nice to see. Also, how come this guy was actually with a killing edge? Really? Oh, I guess it technically brings him over 18 defense, or 18 strength, so technically that would make sense why he smashed through it. And also, I think he got a crit without me even noticing. I guess that could also do it. Okay, so far so good. We do need to open up another door, so let's have you go back, since you're in the area, and just open this door up for me later, since this makes it a little bit easier grabbing all these, because we need to run all the way around the map in order to get all the stuff. And then I guess we just keep running it down, because there's not much else we could do here, other than try and figure out a way to kind of get around these units, because there are a couple units we need to deal with, but in order to get there we need to get them off the map. That's the first and foremost thing we need to do, especially that one hunter that I want to get rid of, because I like clearing the maps. Although I say I like to clear them, I don't like dealing with the reinforcements. The reinforcements don't count as the map for me, although they are a major part of the map, I guess you could say, because they are technically extra units the map has provided for the extra challenge. I do feel like the units that are specifically already on the map are the actual clear goal for me, I guess, is what I like to say, because I want to clear as much as the map as possible, basically, is what I'm trying to say. I feel like going ahead and not doing that defeats the purpose of the map entirely, because I could easily just warp Marth on top of the bosses and stuff and just end the chapter at this point, but I feel like that would be cheating, and I honestly like doing it this way, where we make our way through the map and actually kind of have some nice perilous moments with some of our units, because we have had units go down every now and again, although I do revive them due to the fact that we are playing on the more casual experience mode. If I wanted to, I probably would have done the normal classic way of doing this, but I feel like it's better off that I do it this way, where we make sure we don't lose every single unit on the map instead, because it lets me go through this map, through this game as like chill as possible. I get to chill out, just hang out with you guys. I got a Seraph robe. I believe that's going to give us some HP. I don't know how much in this game, but I do remember it giving 5 in the future games. That's pretty cool. I'll take that for later. Who should I throw that on? I think Bantu, because Bantu has 18 HP. I think he would be nice to have it on, but Lena has been lower as well, so if it is 5 HP, 21 HP would not be bad for Lena, since Lena is only able to survive so much. So honestly, I feel like we should probably do that. I'm going to move Drog over here to block the thieves from even thinking about running to these chests, so we don't have to worry about losing them. We do have limited units that can actually attack the people over the walls, so we do have to kind of wait for the ability to get rid of those units. We also need to worry about that mage, because he does have the Bolognan, which does do 12 damage, so we do want to be a little bit wary about that. We also do have the sniper over here, so we do need to worry about him as well. So I guess this is probably our turn here, because of the fact that Bantu is a little low, he can't really run for any— oh, I could have used his vulnerary, I guess, but I feel like it's better to end our turn like this, because of the fact that we do want to kind of see how the units are going to move to this formation, just to kind of bait some people out, and kind of figure out how we're going to deal with the situation that is ahead of us, since we do have to get the rest of these chests eventually, because I am going to be getting the falchion no matter what. That is a main thing that we are going to be doing, because honestly it's canon for Marth to have the falchion, so making sure that we do get the components is first and foremost the thing that we need to be doing. Okay, first off first is we need to actually heal our buddy Wendell here. Since Wendell is the closest to the hunter on our left, we are going to be using Wendell to get rid of him, unless maybe... no, Wolf's too low. It's not worth trying to use Wolf to do that, so... Honestly, the best thing I can see here is using the Bologna with Wendell. I keep wanting to call him Bantu because, honestly, both their models kind of make me think of the same person due to... I don't know why. I think it's because just it makes me think of... They both kind of remind me of the same character just because... I don't know, maybe because Bantu and him are both, like, older gentlemen. They make me think of the same character. If we had Yagen, I'd probably end up calling one of them Yagen, honestly. I'm gonna be completely honest, since the only times we ever see them is when we move them and, like, double-click on them. We haven't had much story with them, and that is due to the lack of the, the conversations that we would have if we were playing the future games, which is one of the small things I kinda miss, and it's something I've grown so accustomed to seeing in these games. So I hope that once we do eventually go to Shadow Dragon, that we will be able to mess around with the conversations and get to learn about these characters that we were supposed to be able to in the first place, because I would definitely like to learn a little bit more about some of these characters, because especially Drog. Drog has been our powerhouse of this game, and also a major powerhouse when it came to when we did Tokyo Mirage sessions, to the fact that I really want to learn as much as possible about him, because he seems like he'd be a pretty cool dude based on the small amount of conversations we got with him in Tokyo Mirage sessions, and also the small amount of conversations you get inside Heroes as well when you click on his unit. I do think that it would be cool to see how he interacts with his fellow teammates in this game, because we know he's a cool and nice dude, but we don't know much about him other than that. And also, I don't know why, but these units aren't chasing me down, and I don't know why. Is there a reason to that, or honestly, I'm kind of confused. But, I guess we'll figure that out soon. Let's see here. He's at 18 HP. The easiest thing to do here... Actually, Merrick would be smarter to get rid of this guy. So, Merrick, I want you to get rid of the sniper. Although... I forgot how much L-Fire does. I think it does 9 damage. So I'm gonna say Bologna. So Bologna and this guy... We should definitely get the double. There's no way this guy doubles you. Unless you miss twice and you completely mess this up. And I hope you don't, because I would like to actually make some progress here. Because these guys are kind of locked behind doors that I don't want to open, due to the fact that I am trying to save my keys for the actual things we need on this map. So, because there's literally nothing behind those doors other than them, so I don't want to waste items here. Okay, so we're going to use Wolf to Silver Bow this sniper. We're going to do a little bit of damage to this guy, maybe get him out of the way, as long as... Really? You double me? Okay, that's... I don't understand the inconsistency of the doubles in this game. Of course, he has 15... okay, that's... Well, that's unfortunate, because of the fact that there's no way I'm going to be able to get to him, due to the fact that these walls are impenetrable. That means he's going to get a free knockout, so I'll be right back, since I already know he's not going to dodge 2 attacks. So, BRB, boys and girls, and I'll be right back. Okay, now with a much better turn out, because of the fact that Merrick actually doubled this time, and actually did hit both times, we actually did quite a hefty amount of damage to him this time. And I actually forgot that Drog actually had a javelin. I don't know how, because of the fact that he is one of our only ranged units, due to the fact that he is one of the only people that actually has a javelin on our team. So, unfortunately he did miss, but due to the fact that Merrick actually didn't even get a hit, we actually don't have to worry about this turn as much. Okay, so that's actually much nicer for us, since I do want to make sure to get rid of that hunter. So we're going to do the same thing as we did before. We're going to heal Wolf, but this time we're going to be smarter about it, and actually attack the hunter instead of the sniper. Although we're going to make sure, for sure, then this guy is not going to outspeed him somehow. 9 speed, he's also holding, is that a silver bow? If it's a silver bow, we should double, or not double, but at least have a chance against him. Okay, we have more speed, so he won't double me, so we can move here freely. Thank you. That's the thing that I need to make sure about, because if that wasn't the case, and he randomly doubled me, it wouldn't be as fair. So, that's one of my main gripes, is I can't tell when certain units are going to double me unless I click on them. It's nice to have a UI like they do in the future games, where if you just go over them and it automatically does all this instead of me having to do all the clicking just to see what people are holding. It would also be nice to be able to see what they drop as well, since that's not a possibility in this game. But that's probably, I'm pretty sure that's all due to, what do you call it, due to the fact that it is a NES game and there is limits to the game. I do feel like the UI stuff is probably just something that was due to the limits, but I'm pretty sure Gaiden had all that for the second game, so I'm kind of surprised that this didn't have all that, if they were easily able to do that for the second game. So honestly, I don't know what happened there, because it would be very nice to be able to do some things here, like, one of the easier things would be, being able to know what's going to happen if I were to move to a spot. It would definitely be something nice, like, if I were to move Bantu here, if, the mage can somehow get to me or not. Because I like the fact that, in the future games, they also have the, how far they move, and also where they can attack you from, which is always nice. I like the danger zone stuff, and that's also very helpful for anything in these games, because you can learn a lot about a battlefield with just the danger zone itself. And you can learn which units can easily get to you, because you'll know that you need to worry about some kind of unit on the map, and then you'll go looking for them, and it's pretty easy due to the fact that the UIs allow you to easily check for that kind of stuff in the future games. So, although it's not in this game, thankfully we do have the whole, another Orion's bolts. Sadly, those are only for snipers, and we don't have any snipers we're using, so that is technically something we won't be using. It would be nice, but we don't use any of those. The only sniper on our team that we use is a pre-promote unit that has no ability to upgrade anymore, so yeah, we can't actually use that. It would be nice, but there's really nothing we could do with those. If I was using George or something, or Gordon, or what's another sniper we could have used? Well, actually, I don't remember there being any others. I think it was literally just George and Gordon. Unless there was someone I don't remember. I think it was someone with, I think Hardin's party. I think there was a sniper with him. But I don't remember their name, though. That's the only problem. Okay, so due to the fact that we will be getting the chests before doing all the boss stuff, we're actually going to be... First, we want to make sure that none of these units are going to be moving anywhere, so as long as these people don't move this turn... Actually, we should get rid of the mage and this guy first, I guess. So let's do that first before we do anything else. So, due to the fact that it looks pretty safe to move our units into the right side, due to the fact that the mage is far away from Bantu, so Bantu doesn't need to worry. And he is on 6 HP, but they're not going to be able to get to him due to the fact that I am going to be running Minerva right through this area. So let's get rid of this little hero here, so we don't have to worry about him. And then once we get rid of the mage, I'm going to do a small cut, and then tell you everything that we found inside the rest of the chest. So far we got the Ceres robe and the Geosphere, so we don't need to re-go over that when the time comes when I go tell you guys what was in these. But let's see here, there's one more mage. Is there any way I can get rid of him this turn? I don't think so, due to the fact that I don't have anything throwable. I've been wanting to stock up on javelins, but hasn't really been a chance for me to go and get those, and I don't know why I haven't really done that. Honestly, it probably is due to the fact that I just forget. And also, apparently, Marth is holding something in his hands that I don't know about. Oh, it's Geosphere. Oops. Okay, well, I was gonna throw the secret book on him, but apparently he's not able to do that just yet. So the easiest thing I can see to actually get to this mage is to end turn, let Minerva deal with the hero, and then run Minerva right into that mage. Since the mage can't get to anybody else, we don't need to worry, and this guy only does 1 damage to Minerva, but that's because Minerva's defense is so high that we don't even need to worry about anything like that. Wow. Oh goodness. 50 experience. I'm liking the experience gains now. Skill, weapon level, and HP, always nice to see. Also Fortify again. I still haven't searched that up. I was supposed to, but I completely forgot to because I didn't really remember to, honestly, but I also don't see it as too important to go out and do because, honestly, is it really going to be that important of a ability for us to learn because of the fact that we haven't used it yet? It probably is really good for all I know, but they haven't used it when anyone was low, so I don't think it's something to do with HP. I have a feeling it's something to do with, like, something either defense, resistance, or something, and I just don't notice what it is. Maybe it's a self-fortify where they fortify themselves and give themselves better stats, but that doesn't seem to be the case either, and I don't know what it could be. But due to the fact that we did get rid of the mage and the hero here, I'm going to do my small cut here, and then I'll tell you what was inside each and every chest. So, BRB, boys and girls, and thank you for waiting through a cut. BRB. Okay, so that took a little bit longer than I was expecting. So, you wanna know what just happened? I hit load bookmark without having a bookmark saved, so I basically had to do the whole chapter again, but I did it on max speed and no animations. But it took me about 30-something minutes to speedrun all of this because, although I did have it on super speed, I still had to get to every single chest one by one, and also I wanted to make sure that we actually put some of these items in our inventories to save us some time as well, because there's some pretty good items here. So I'm gonna read off a list here, so you might hear my mouse for a second. But the items that we got are a pure water, a bishop's ring, 30k, one Bolognon, the Geosphere, the Seraph Robe, the Skydrake Whip, which is going to be the Elysian Whip in this game, a Speed Ring, and a Star Sphere. We still don't know where I think it was the Light Sphere was. We do have the Geosphere now. Let me just fix my setup real quick. There we go. Okay, and with that, we can actually start progressing again. Okay. So, first off's first, is I'm actually going to be using Lena first. Because of the fact that we did get a Bishop's Ring in one of these chests, we're actually going to be using that first, since I did say she was going to be the first one to use one if it was between Merrick and her. So since it is between Merrick and her, I want her to be able to attack. Her being able to just sit back forever and do nothing, although it's good for a healer, it makes sense, but I want her to be able to do things too. So she'll be able to protect herself. So with that, we're going to be using our Bishop's Ring on her, and that should turn her into a bishop just like Wendell. Merrick's going to become a bishop as well in the near future whenever we do get another one, but he's going to be in a while, because Lena needs it more than he does, because now she can actually use magic as well, so now we have 3 magic dealers, which is really good. Okay, now that we're done with that, the next thing I want to do is actually trade off my Seraph Robe from Marth onto her, because of the fact that she will be using the Seraph Robe, due to the fact that we need her to have a little bit more HP if she's going to be dealing damage, so 21 HP would be nice for her. Although, she might have gotten some more. Actually, because she turned into a bishop, she actually went up to 22 HP, which is really good. So she'll be having, I don't know how much the Seraph Robe is going to give her. I'm going to say it's probably 5, so instead of 22, she's going to go up to probably 27, is what I'm going to guess. Due to the fact that we got a Skydrake Whip, or also known as Elysian Whip in other games, we're actually going to use that on Caeda to make her into a Wyvern Rider. So let's do that real quick, and now Caeda is no longer a Pegasus Knight, but now she is now a Wyvern Knight, just like our buddy Minerva, so that's going to be really cool. That gives her 2 extra movement as well, which is insanely good because of the fact that the 8 movement does kind of hinder her. so now she can actually run as far as she wants. We also got another speed ring, so we're going to use the speed ring on Drog this time to make it so he can double now. So with the increased strength that he has and the defense that he has, he's going to be able to maybe double more often, which is actually going to be pretty funny. So I'm going to throw the speed ring on him to match his boots, since he can't run 9 movements, so might as well give him some 6 speed and see what we can do with that. So with the extra 6 speed, he's now actually at a hefty 14 speed. Not bad. Good job, Drog. Okay, other than that, since we traded off the Seraph Robe from Marth, I'm going to throw the secret book onto Marth now, because he was supposed to use the skill book in the first place. So let's throw that onto him. This is a mouthful, I know, because I need to make sure that everything is set in stone. Okay, for now, that is our turn for that. Other than that, we can start moving our units. Okay. Now that we're done with the mouthful that was that, let's actually progress with the chapter. Okay. Oh that hurt my lungs a little bit because I was non-stop talking, and I didn't expect to have to do all that because of the fact that I didn't expect there to be super good items. I expected there to be items, but I actually didn't expect there to be, like, stat-changing stuff, because the stat-changing stuff is pretty good depending on who you're putting it on. Especially, say, like, let's say Bantu were to get a pair of boots. If he had extra movement speed, the 18 defense that he already has is definitely going to be nice with a pair of boots, due to the fact that he is our wall that blocks off a lot of different areas. And I also just noticed that Navarre had 40 HP. Wow! He has a lot of HP. I actually did not even know about that. Okay. The only other thing we do need to do is we need to use the next turn to use the Seraph Robe and the Secret Book for both Marth and Lena. And then once we do that, we need to transfer over her Psychic back over to Lena. I needed to make space for her, so I needed to give the Psychic over to somebody else. So that gave us a little bit of breathing room, so she could actually use her items in peace without having to worry. Although due to the fact that we did lose a lot of what we did, due to the fact that all my turns got completely wiped, due to the fact that we loaded a bookmark that wasn't what we did, because we lost the entire chapter. All the units that did get levels and stats are completely changed. Bantu didn't get his 1 luck that he had, which is unfortunate. It would have been nice if he did get to keep that, but when he hit level 6, he didn't get it again. Since it is a 10% growth rate, I didn't expect to get it again. And I wasn't going to sit there until I got luck again, since that's just going to be me spamming the load bookmark until I get a 10 luck, which I could have done, but I just felt like that was unnecessary. So, with that, it looks like that turn wasn't the hardest turn, but it also did do some damage to us. Okay, now that Drog has now used his speed ring, now we can actually grab something we actually need him to grab. So we need to make sure that we grab the Star Sphere out of here, because the Star Sphere is inside the convoy right now. And as long as we have that, we can use that for later. So now that we have the Star Sphere, we can leave there. Okay, perfect. Star Sphere gotten. Now we have that for the next chapter, because we're going to be using... I think it's for the next chapter, or it's the chapter after. It's one of the next chapters, is when we're going to meet Godo again, because we need both of those items in order to get the Starlight Tome. So once we do get that, we're going to be perfectly set in stone. But now that we have that done, let's use our secret book on Marth. It should raise him up to, I believe, 18 skill, which is pretty nice. So now he's going to be critting pretty much constantly, as long as he gets a hit in or 2. And then we're going to use our Seraph's Robe on Lena. Don't use a staff. See, sometimes I mess up with my moves. So Seraph's Robe, use the Seraph's Robe. I don't know how much HP. 9 HP? Okay, it's double in this game. Okay, I'll take 9 HP. It's literally double of what I thought I was going to get, so now Lena's at 31, making her not so lightweight anymore. She basically pretty much doubled in HP. Not bad at all. I did not actually expect that. Well, Lena, here's your Psychic, and now that we are done with that, we can progress with the map like we normally would. Okay, now back to chill mode. because of the fact that now that we have all that stuff done, we don't have to worry as much, because that was the only thing, was that we needed to make sure that we were moving our units. Let me save a create a bookmark so we don't lose any of that progress, because for all I know, I'm going to hit the bookmark again on accident and have to redo all of that. I'm going to just move Minerva out of the way so we don't have to reload, because I don't want her to just get knocked out and then we redo all this again, or from the bookmark that we just made, but it just makes it easier that I don't have to make a cut in order to get back to where we were, because I would like to just continue from where we are now, since it's been quite a while since I got to talk to you last, since I did have to restart the entire chapter, so yeah, I would like to just continue the recording from where we are, if we can, because that would be nice. Okay, Wendell, I'm gonna have you belong on this guy. You should be able to double this guy, there's no way you don't, since he is holding a weapon that... Really? Okay, game. That's... Look at me saying, oh, I'm gonna have to do a turn rewind. This game's gonna... I'll be right back. Okay, so technically I actually didn't need to really do a cut. So if I just loaded the bookmark and just randomly attacked the guy with Minerva, I actually would have just knocked him out anyway. So you know what? I actually probably just should have kept going. But I did stop talking, so I had to do the cut anyways, because it would just be some awkward silence for you guys. Okay, so now that he is gone, the guy that was basically gonna wipe our team, now we can actually progress. So we already know the thieves don't do much damage, so we don't need to worry about them. So Ogma, just use Silver Sword, get rid of this mage as fast as possible before he does any kind of damage, since he is going to do some hefty damage due to the fact that none of us have any kind of resistance other than Marth. So it's safer that you just get rid of him now, so we don't have to worry about it. Level 5 for Ogma, all he got was max HP. It's not bad because of the fact that he's maxed out on 2 stats, so honestly, I wouldn't expect him to get any better stats to begin with. So honestly, that's a decent level for him. Okay, so far so good. I don't see any more mages, so it looks like we're safe to run in here like we normally would. I'm just gonna break my Silver Sword on this guy's face, just because I would like to get it out of my inventory, and might as well use it. So thankfully, the one charge of the Silver Sword actually got rid of him, and down goes one of the 3 thieves on this map. Okay, perfect. Abel, you go in, just put your, let's see here, just run your sword through this guy. As long as you do 22 damage or more, you get rid of this guy. So honestly, I'm pretty sure you got him. Yeah, 23. It's more than what Navarre did. So honestly, I'll take it. I'll take anything, as long as we don't have to restart this turn again because of a stupid mistake that I do. Okay, Merrick should be able to just run in here. So Merrick, you run in here like you normally would. Bolognan, I think? Yeah, let's go Bolognan. I know it has a chance to miss, but I have faith in Merrick to actually hit this. As long as he hits 1, we're fine, because the Blizzard's only 7 damage. It's not the worst case scenario, so 12 damage down. I also think Fortify is actually a long-range healing magic, based on how I've seen the enemies interact with it. So I'm gonna say that it is a heal, and it can actually heal people on the other side of the map. So that's why I haven't noticed what it's done, because they're healing people that I'm right next to, and I didn't even notice it. Because when I was fighting the snipers, they were, I've noticed that they actually had more HP than they normally would, and that is actually what's going on. I'm gonna say that's what it is without searching it up, and I'm gonna say if we do get Fortify, I actually do want to have that if that is gonna be better than our Psychic, since it looks like it's a bigger heal than what Psychic's doing, if that is the case, since I wouldn't think, unless they're getting free stats or free heals for no reason, then I have no clue what it could be. But with that, I think we moved everyone so we can continue going, and let's do this. Whew, okay. That was a lot of things to do. Definitely didn't expect this map to be this way. I even said, I think this is going to be an easy map. And look what happened. I had to restart the entire map from the beginning. I don't think it ended up being the easy map that I thought it was going to be. Also, apparently, I think based on what I read, apparently Mercius is a sword that only Marth can use. which is kind of cool, so it makes sense that S brought it to us, because she did say that it was not for us, it was for him specifically, when she was talking about it. So I thought that was just weird wording, but apparently it's just a weapon only he can use, apparently. Which is kind of cool to see, because I'm pretty sure you were able to throw Excalibur Merrick's tome onto anybody if you really tried. I didn't try it, so it probably was possible. But due to the fact that we do know we can talk to Tiki with Batu, we're actually going to do that right now. Hey Tiki, what's going on?
Tiki, I've been looking everywhere. It seems Garneth is controlling you now. Wake up.
What? What happened? Where am I?
Back to your senses, are you? Good. How do you feel?
It was so scary. A terrible nightmare that wouldn't end.
Oh, Tiki, I am so sorry. It is all my fault this happened. But you're alright now. I won't leave you again. I promise.
Yes, please promise. Don't leave me alone. Ever again. Promise me that you won't.
Honestly, I don't know how long Bantu can live, because I don't know the age of, Manakete. I'm pretty sure he was talking about, old age before, but I'm not entirely sure. But now that we actually have Tiki, we can actually use her, so let's use her Divine Stone and test it out. So is she gonna have a different type of dragon? Oh, she actually does, because of the fact that she has a different, stone actually gave her a different model than Bantu is, so now we can technically differentiate them, although we would know who's attacking once we actually do attack, so honestly, that wasn't the hardest thing to know, but it's still cool to actually get to finally use her, since I've been wanting to use her for quite a while, and I didn't expect her to be this late in the game, since it is Chapter 19, and there's only 25 chapters in this game. Unlike the remake where there's like X chapters that give you more units that aren't in this game, but are units that are only in that game, basically. Or I think it's also in the second remake because there's 2 of them. Apparently Mystery of the Emblem, and then you have Shadow Dragon. Although technically I've been calling this game Shadow Dragon, technically it's 2 titles, Shadow Dragon and The Blade of Light. I don't like calling it that because I feel like it's too much of a mouthful for me to do in an episode, like, just trying to get because I'm trying to get the actual, what do you call it, I'm trying to get the intros in, and if I were to say the entire name, I'm pretty sure I'd mess it up at least, I'm gonna say a couple times at least, so that's why I never call it Shadow Dragon and the Blade of Light, if you want to know the full truth on that. So, due to the fact that this chapter is pretty much over, we're pretty much done here. Wow, what a chapter. What a long, long chapter. Wow. And there's our light sphere. Thank you. Ooh, strength. Strength? On Wendell? He gets strength growths? Really? There's no strength tomes. What? Due to the fact that the Bologna's almost broken anyways, just throw that away, and we'll give that to Marth in the next episode, because we don't need it directly right now. There's also no reinforcements, because we would have seen one by now. So it looks like what we got on the map was what we got. So, like I thought, there was gonna be either light reinforcements or no reinforcements, is based what I said. So, thankfully, no reinforcements is the better option, because that saves us some time here, since it was a long chapter, because of the fact that I had to redo it. But, I'm gonna do the easy thing, and I'm just gonna get rid of this guy with, I think this is Navarre, because of the fact that we do have a killing edge on him, and I'm pretty sure Ogma doesn't have one, so please, Navarre, get rid of this curate and just get rid of him for us, because we need to end this chapter so I can get on to the next one, because I was planning on doing 2. Well, not today, like, not double upload, but I was planning on doing 2 episodes tonight because of the fact that I wanted to do the next chapter. Apparently, one, because I saw that a recruit was going to be active, and I saw that it was going to be Lorenz. Although we aren't going to be using Lorenz, he is the guy that was, when we played Tokyo Mirage Sessions, it was in one of Drong's, stories, and we found out that Drong and him were basically, Lorenz was his liege, basically. He was he looked up to Lorenz, basically. So it's gonna be cool to see Lorenz again after the fact that we had a small little bit of dialogue with him. So I do know who Lorenz is. He's not in Heroes yet, although that's usually how I would know a unit from these games, because as I told you, this is my first playthrough ever through any of the Shadow Dragon games, or any of the Marth games, in fact. So it's just nice to finally see some of these characters that I otherwise wouldn't have got any kind of ability to learn about, because of the fact that their games aren't readily available. Shadow Dragon on the DS is pretty hard to find. I haven't ever found it in a GameStop or any other shop in general. And Mystery of the Emblem is, I believe... I don't even know where that game is, honestly. I'm pretty sure it's a Japanese-only release, but there's a translation, I think? I think that's how it is. But you can do it through emulation, but I'm pretty sure I'd rather just do Shadow Dragon the remake, because I'm pretty sure that would be better to do because of the fact that it's going to have Shadow Dragon, and I'm pretty sure it's going to also have the third game as well in it. So that's going to be cool to actually play through both of those, just to see the full story, because we're missing a little bit of the story since the limitations of this game. But with that, let's actually seize the throne, and let's finish the chapter off.
Prince Marth, before we head to Grust, I must tell you something. You know General Camus, the captain of the famous Sable Order of Knights. I was captured by the Sable Order when they occupied Arknea 2 years ago.
Which is the people we actually fought in the last chapter.
Dolar intended to utterly destroy Arknean royal family, but that man Camus protected me. He stood up to Medius when I could not. Knowing Medius's elite guards would come, Camus helped me find sanctuary in Orlus. He has won many victories over Dolar, but that no longer matters to them because of what he did for me. When I was prisoner, I hated him, but my feelings have changed considerably. I hope that you will not cross swords with him. I wish to see him again.
And with that, I actually do know who's the next chapter for the boss. And that is actually going to be Camus, or Camus. I'm going to call him Camus because that's how I always like to call him, because that's how it's spelled, honestly, and based on how us is spelled in English, I'm just going to say Camus, because it's just easier for me. But apparently it's Camus, I don't know, but it's just weird. It's a weird naming scheme for him. It's probably because, I don't know, because of the YouTuber I watched that was talking about him. It was a in-depth guide on him and talking about who he is as a character and kind of like building him up, because I was so curious about him due to Heroes when he did release, and he ended up becoming one of my favorite characters just due to Heroes, and then the small bit of playthrough that I got with him when I did Shadows of Valentia. Well, not for you guys, but when I played through it myself, because I haven't got to finish the game. I still, as I said before, I haven't continued the game. I want to continue, probably from the start, probably, but if there's any way I can do it for you guys, I would like to do Shadows of Valentia, because that would be a fun game. But due to the fact that I don't know if there's 3DS emulators, and I'm not going to go and get a capture card for 3DS when, one, it's really expensive, and two, honestly, it should be where you could just plug your 3DS into your capture card that you already purchased, like an Elgato or something like that, and just make it easier for people like that, because Nintendo really needs to kind of make it easier to do certain games. Like, honestly, it's so hard to play certain games to the point where I feel like they should just re-release them on the Switch, like they're doing with the NES games. Although I feel like they should just make it so you can just purchase them. Because, like, any game that's been looked into people wanting to get, like, let's say, redo Gaiden. Just completely translate it to English and make it so people can do Gaiden. Like they would have in Japan. I'm pretty sure it's not that hard to, what is it, like 200 lines of dialogue? It's not even that much, because of the fact that we played through this game and there's not even that much dialogue to begin with. So it shouldn't be that hard to translate that. If you are Japanese and English, you can probably easily translate this. You don't even need a master translator or anything like that. But with that, we're actually gonna take a sneak peek at the next chapter. I know I'm kind of dragging on a little bit because, one, I had to kind of leave you guys for 30 minutes, and I wanted to speak about a couple things in that time that I missed out on talking to you guys. But let's see what we're actually dealing with in the next chapter, chapter 20, and I'm pretty sure it is... Actually, do I have the name written down? I'm pretty sure I do, because I wrote down which units I want to bring to each chapter. Camus the Sable, I believe it's called. Is that what it's called? Yes, it is. Camus the Sable, Chapter 20. And apparently we can bring... What is it looking like? I want to make sure how many units we can bring. 15 units, including Marth. Okay, not bad. We can't bring everyone, since now we have 16 units we have. We use Tiki and Zane, so one of our units is going to have to probably stay back. I'm going to use Tiki in the next chapter because of the fact that we just got her. So I'm going to say we probably should leave Zane. Although I would like to bring him, but he doesn't need levels, because he's always going to be a different unit, so there's no point in bringing him in this one, so we'll leave him behind again, because we did it so in the last one, since we were only able to bring so many units. But I feel like, with that, it seems like we'll have a decent time with this chapter, because we have Camus here, so I'm guessing that it was indeed the guy that we saw earlier. So inside that one village that we saw when we got, I believe, the White Wings, was Camus. Huh, look at that. He's actually pretty, beefy there, actually. He's also holding the Granavis, which is a 2-range weapon in this game. So, no cheesing this guy, that's for sure. Also, looks like we got some Ballisticans, not very dangerous. But we also got some generals. Maybe we'll get a general thing, like maybe be able to upgrade Drog, maybe? I would like to do that at some point, and that would be nice. But I don't think the game's gonna let me do that, so... With that, thank you all for watching today's episode. Have a wonderful rest of your day. It looks like we got a bridge. Good thing I have a bridge key. And I'll be seeing you all in the next one. Have a wonderful rest of your day. And I'm gonna go and prepare for Camus the Sable, and I'll see you all in the next one. See y'all later. Peace out. Hey boys and girls, thank you all for watching today's episode. If you liked what you saw today, please leave a like and maybe even subscribe. And hit the bell notification down below. If you guys have any kind of suggestions for games, please put that in the comments down below as well. Thank you all for watching today's episode, and keep being spooky. Peace out, guys.